So we're just trotting for perch, just along this edge here. Obviously I've got my bail arm open there. There's a bit of line on the surface and the current's going this way, and we'll just run it along this mooring edge here. It's probably about 7 or 8 foot deep there. It's quite deep. It's not a good time of the day. It's about 11 or 12, something like that. First thing in the morning or last at night would be good. We've just had a little perch on worms, so we've just got a few garden worms, and we're just literally just snipping them up and just putting a tiny little bit on in there. Don't you see any in there? There's one there. And we just sort of dug them yesterday. It's not been a lot of rain, so it's quite difficult to get them. I only got about 10, but we sort of snip through off. So it's just slowly the gear's just moving out a little bit. Is it trapped in any way? No, it shouldn't be. Very slowly, just off the bottom there. Chucked in a few boilies. Always get a little bit concerned when I see a boat sort of heading straight towards me like this. Hopefully he's going to turn. And just had a pike on and he's let go. I didn't really give him enough time really, but another time you'd hook up. But looking at the teeth marks in the actual in the mackerel, that looked quite a good fish actually. So that only been in the water a few minutes, so yeah, that only been in the water a few minutes, so that's a bit of a bummer, but I'm hoping he'll come back. That's the plan anyway. So we're just chucking a few of these in just to sort of keep it moving. Now the float has gone under and stayed under, so I assume that's a fish. I assume that's a fish. No. Fuck it. So it must be right on the bottom. Right on the bottom. Here's the bait. Little bit of bait there, look. Right, so what we might do, we might just lessen the depth a little bit. Lessen the depth a little bit, because I increased it by about 1.5 foot. We've not had any bites since. So sometimes they like something just sort of wafting above the heads, a bit more natural, sort of floating. As well as on the bottom, they sort of can't always see it. We'll try this. There's tangles. Not making excuses, but when you're sort of doing two sorts of fishing and you're not focusing on one, you're focusing on one and you get like take on the other, it's sort of, it takes a while to sort of get your head right really. But I haven't been doing a lot of fishing, so it's all I could have done with that is just left it a bit longer. But I mean, it's a difficult one with the old pike. You leave it too long and they could deep hook themselves, and then that's not what you want. So you've got to try and sort of just judge it. I mean, he was moving off with it. I sort of struck. I knew how much line was out and I struck, but there just wasn't any air. We've got to take it. So that's a bit further out, away from the edge. So we'll try that. Could have been a little roach or something. Worm is a good bait, that really is. I've got some sweet corn to try as well. This sweet corn here, this stuff's really good. I find for carp anyway, I find that's absolutely spot on. So what you can do, you can put on a kernel and you can fish it just like this and just trot it back, and that usually separates a better fish. If you use maggots, you'll get lots of little fish and the occasional good one will grab it, but you put on something like a worm or a kernel, that sort of separates a different stamp of fish. I hate it when I have a good fish on, what I believe is quite a good fish on, and I bloody cock it up. Where are we? September. I just get on my nerves a bit, that does. So I'm just watching that float. But I've got the ratchet on, so what you'll hear is this. But there's a little bit on this reel, there's a little tiny bit of resistance. I don't like any resistance at all. If I have the bail arm open, I won't see what's going on. So if we get a take, we just engage this, or we just leave it as it is, or I usually flip the bail arm open and let it run some more so it can't feel any resistance. Sometimes a pike, if he just feels the slightest bit of resistance, it's enough for him to put him off. Especially if it's one of those sort of days where they're not really that interested. And that's it, it's a very sort of effective way. But we're on the river here and you don't usually get drop back bites. They usually tear off one direction or the other. Another boat coming. So I've got my boat hook just down here, so if someone does lose the plot, someone who is not used to boating, I can just fend him off. That's the trouble with fishing this spot. It's a good spot because it's very deep. That's the main reason, really. It's very deep, and it's, you know, there's always a few fish here. Somewhere to tie up, but you do run the risk of somebody on a windy day like this. Somebody could quite easily not be at the races. So that's what I've got. My fenders out, and I've got my hook there, which I'll use to sort of in an attempt to sort of fend them off. But this time of year there's still quite a few boats about. Pike. After. Right, I've got to sort this mess out. Fucking hell. It's just the chaos we've got. He's quite nicely hooked as well. So let's just get this all sort of sorted as best I can. Measure him actually. Mackerel. Right, let's see if we can. Here's 31. Seems about 10 or 11. Right, let's try. What we got? What we got? Spinning round. nicely hooked. He's virtually clear. You're virtually clear, my boy. Where's the other hook? Right there. Look at this. Look at this. This is on a bit of worm. Let's try and bring him up. Look at this, look. Like this could have been a perch or roach, but now I've got a bloody pike on it, look. It's a good, quite good pike as well. I'll just bring him up. Oh! He's pinged off. Might have been a perch on it or a roach on it, and then Mr. Pikey's grabbed him. Fucking hell. Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Yeah, he's pinged the hook. He's pinged the goddamn hook. He certainly has. Oh, that was a double figure pike, I reckon. Double figure pike. I reckon the roach has grabbed it, and then he grabbed it. That's what I reckon. What's going on with this? Alright. It's all happening. It's all happening. Let's put a little bit of bait on. Bit of worm, a little bit of worm. You need about 10. I find these little sections are quite effective. We just got to sort out a hook now. Oh. Trouble you see, you try to do two things and that's what we're putting on. One of these. That's about a size 10, I think. Just got to tie it on. Oh, because the pike grabbed it, I'm sort of thinking that either Perch has grabbed it and then a pike's had him. that. No, I was just watching the news last night, and there's that young lad who got shot in America. That guy who was going to all the universities and just sort of, he's only 31, wife and 2 young kids. He didn't even, when I watched some of his other videos, he didn't even come across that bad. Just like open debate, chatting about things, and some low-life prat just thinks they can fire a rifle into his throat, into his neck. I just find that a bit sort of, you know. That'd be interesting to see what sort of a chap it was. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a very similar sort of person who'd had a go at Trump, try to get Trump. I would not be surprised. Not be surprised. They've probably got quite a lot of them over there. No, I just think that's. I'm sure he pissed off quite a few people, but I mean, Christ, bloody hell. What he was talking about, he weren't being that sort of personal, I didn't think. He's been a deranged lunatic doing something like that. These poor kids got to grow up without their father, not knowing who their father was. Beautiful wife, got to try and work it all out. Just piss you off. Pisses me off. Yeah. People getting blown away all over the world, aren't they? Every minute. Anyway, enough of that shit. We'll just get on with things in sleepy Norfolk. Right, decent pike. Look at that. Decent pike. He's getting on for 20, I'd say. Okay, let's see what we can do. Right. Wait there, my man. Wait there. Right, let me have a look at you. He says, bugger you. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I've got you. Did have you? All right. Right, let's put him back. I'd say he's about £17–18 that one. That's a nice fish. Let's put him back. Right. So we just run out of dead baits. Had 2 fish. We had two pike. One I reckon about £14–16, maybe something like that, and the other one was probably about 9. I'm guessing something like that. All on a mackerel, fresh mackerel, caught off Caught off the beach in June. There's something about those fresh ones versus the ones you buy in the shop. You wouldn't think that'd make any difference, but I'm telling you, I've got much more confidence in the fresh ones I catch off the beach. There's lots of boats moving around here at the minute, so what I've got my little boat hook just to fend them off. If one of these hire people sort of lose their direction a little bit. Let's have the Environment Agency come down, testing the water. Thought they were going to ask me for a licence, but so some people over there. So there wasn't any current earlier on, but now we've got a little bit of current. The tide's turned, and now it's trotting back, which is what you want. But I've been getting a few perch, had a couple of little roach, just on little bits of worm I've got in there. And the worms are probably 5 days old now, and they're fine. They're all sort of coiled up together. I just snip a bit off and just put that on. That's usually pretty effective. But I don't know if there's any bait on there now. See, is it going under? It's usually just a little. Goes under and stays under. There's a lot of weed there still. Yeah, it's gone right under now, look. I missed it. Bail arm's open, I've got no chance. Yeah. Yeah, we're in. We're in. Yeah. Perchy perchy. In while holding the camera. Let's have a trying to drop the camera in. That will be expensive. There you go. Nice little perch there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see if I can unhook it. Oh, I can't bloody do it. I just have to bear with me a minute. Redfin. The old redfin. Look at the colours on that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Big gob. Put him back. Salt a little bit. Could have used him as a dead bait, really, a live bait. Right, let's head back. Let's put another bait on.